All right, let's check out Cartier Roadster. Now, this fragrance, made in France, it's a French company. Definitely one of the scents that you want to check out because Cartier is definitely known to be very good. So it basically starts out with an aromatic green and then becomes a more aromatic fougere where you mix the green notes with a little bit of the vetiver and woodsy dryness. And it builds a very enigmatic kind of deep scent. It's almost like walking through the forest in the spring because you get this mint and patchouli that build just enough greenery, but then they add some vanilla and the vetiver and this laudanum, which keeps it from being too much on the fresh side. You know that fresh scents can smell like a chemical smell. They can almost smell like a locker room, but this one actually does a very good job. And it's more of the millennial kind of fragrance where you get the freshness and then you add your gourmand warmth. And this scent does not have heavy amounts of amber and cloying ingredients, but it is very strong, just so you know. Like Cartier Roadster is a sillage monster. It definitely is a strong fragrance, but it's definitely something you might want to check out. And if you're trying to impress somebody, this is a good scent house. And it's hard to find this fragrance, but it's definitely worthy of a purchase. Because Cartier Roadster definitely is one of the kinds of scents that's top of the line. It's definitely one of those things when they put the notes together, they have like 5 or 6 notes in this whole fragrance and they work perfectly. And it just has enough of that bergamot to give a fresh fougere feel without being too much. And they have like a touch of floral, but it's more of an enigmatic outdoorsy smell because the fougere basically blends a lot of things. And fougere houses can have a lot of different things. You can have the fougere that's oriental like Le Male, where you have the florals and woodsy notes and your spices in a medley. But in this one, it's not too fruity, it's more earthy. And it's more of an enigmatic, complex kind of smell. Because in this kind of fragrance, you don't just use an overwhelming amount of amber like a lot of scents with vanilla have. This one has a better vanilla note that's just in there enough to kind of build the flavor without really being a heavy, cloying gourmandish like a lot of vanilla scents can do. It definitely has a very fresh, outdoorsy smell. And the florals in this one build a good matrix, and they kind of build the scent up. But the florals stay in there just enough, but it's not too feminine with the florals because you have basically the dry laudanum and the vetiver that make this more of a very manly smell because vetiver and laudanum and leather and a lot of these notes can build a good dry down when they're put together well. And in this fragrance, you definitely see how this works when you have just enough vanilla that had some sweetness, but then you have your fresh outdoorsy green like the patchouli and the mint. And in this fragrance, the mint with the vanilla and the patchouli and just the right amount of citrus and florals actually build a almost unisex smell, while the vetiver and the woodsy components make it masculine enough, but anybody could really wear this. And for ages, honestly, a college student could easily pull this one off. Like, this is definitely an elegant kind of fragrance. This is not something that you're probably going to want to smell right away when you're starting fragrances, but it grows on people. And this one definitely is something you want to wear. But I would recommend one spray max because it is a very strong fragrance. It's definitely more of a date night scent, definitely more for the nighttime. It's not something you would definitely want to wear like day in, day out, and definitely not to work because it is strong. It is a sillage monster. That's the one thing people say about this fragrance. So, this is my review, and I hope it helped.